So what up, YouTube? Welcome back to the fourth installment of my journey to Hyrox. My name is Michael Montgomery, and if this is your first time on my channel, appreciate you. So let's talk Hyrox. If you're new to my channel, then you might be wondering what Hyrox is. Well, Hyrox is a beast of a fitness challenge. It consists of 8 events. Each event is preceded by a 1,000-meter run. So in total, you do 8 events and 5 miles of running. The events range from farmer's walk, ski erg, row, sled, push, pull, burpee broad jump, wall balls, farmer's walk, sandbag lunges. I think those are 8. Those are the 8 exercises that you have to do. So the week 4 recap. So week 4 was very similar to weeks 1, 2, and 3, where my overall goal was just to improve or continue to improve my work capacity. For Hyrox, the average finish time is 1.5 hours. So I need to get my ability to work or work out to the point where I can handle at the very least 1.5 hours worth of work. So that was pretty much my goal. That's pretty much been my goal so far. Now, coming out of week 4, one of the things I did start to focus on is developing more of a strategy around how I plan to attack the beast known as Hyrox. So coming out of weeks 1, 2, and 3, or weeks 1, 2, and 3, I was mainly focused on just kind of getting familiar with the exercises and the weights that I would be asked to do at each station. Well, week 4, one of the things I focused on was taking inventory or stock in the muscle groups that were being taxed when I was focused on, when I was doing a particular exercise. So for example, I realized that when I was doing the wall balls that my quads was being taxed probably more than any other muscle group. The thinking is, now that I know that quads is one of the primary muscles that's used during the wall ball session, I'm actually I am going to focus on doing exercises that help to expedite the conditioning of my quads. For example, front squats. Now, I've also increased my running, and one of the things I know I need to get more diligent at is actually using a heart rate monitor and making sure that I'm running in the proper zone, especially for Hyrox. I think the sweet spot for Hyrox is going to be zone 2. Now, for people not familiar with the Hyrox, not the Hyrox zone, but the heart rate zones, without going into too much detail, because I don't know a lot about it, the one thing I do know is that zone 2 is the sweet spot. It is the spot where you should be able to keep a pretty good pace. It's not too taxing on your body, and you should be able to run at that pace for an extremely long time. So my thinking is with Hyrox that the 1,000-meter run between each exercise is actually going to serve as, what's the right word, the rest period leading up to the next exercise station. So if I can operate in the zone 2 heart rate threshold, I should be able to go into the next exercise not fairly refreshed or fairly not as tired. I don't know if I think once you start to go through all these exercises, no matter what, you're just gonna be tired. But the goal is to, if I'm operating in that zone 2 area, to move into that next exercise somewhat recovered. Now, because I am starting to realize the muscle groups and the specific exercises that I'm going to need in order to be successful at Hyrox, I have begun to develop a strategy around my training model for the next 4 months. So on day 1, I'm planning on a heavy lift being deadlift for squats. Day 2 is an interval training session specific to Hyrox. Day 3 is a cardio session specific to Hyrox. Day 4 is another strength session If I did on day 1 squats, then on day 2, I'm going to deadlift, along with some other accessory work. That's day 4. Day 5 should be another interval training session. I think I hit that. I think I did. So let me look at this. So day 1 is heavy weights. Day 2 is interval training. Day 3 is endurance. That's what I forgot. Endurance. Day 4 is another heavy weight, opposite, exercise opposite of whatever I did on day 1. And day 5 is another interval training session. So I'm thinking with that setup or that breakdown, it should position me well, and tap into all the energy systems, tap in and develop all the energy systems that I'm gonna need to be successful at Hyrox. So that is my game plan moving forward. Now, one of the questions I always get asked from people familiar with Hyrox or my friends, they always ask me, why don't I just download or get or copy a workout that's already out there? Why am I basically trying to recreate the wheel in regards to creating a training strategy for Hyrox? Well, I've been a coach. I've been a youth track coach for several years. And one of the things I realized with being a youth track coach is that anytime you download a workout or you find a workout on the internet, that workout was customized or created for a specific athlete or a specific type of athlete. For example, if you're a track junkie, then you might know who Clyde Hardy is. He trained Michael Johnson, Jeremy Warner, Sonia Richards, amongst others. World-class 400-meter runners. Well, his workouts are readily available on the internet, and coaches go and download them all the time. Once they download them, they're thinking, hey, I got the silver bullet to running great 400-meter runners. Never happens. The reason why it never happens is because most people ignore the fact that Clyde Hart, his workout was designed, that workout was designed for very good 200-meter runners. And because it was designed for very good 200-meter runners, if your athlete was not a top-tier 200-meter runner, you weren't going to get those, you wasn't going to be able to produce those type of results. The same applies to Hyrox. When you look at most workouts that are out there for Hyrox athletes, a lot of them are for a specific athlete or a specific type of athlete. Myself, being as far as myself, I'm a bigger athlete, and I tend to have more strength and power output than traditional athlete, for lack of a better word, or that tends to be my superpower, is my strength and my power output. My kryptonite tends to be my endurance or my cardio. So a lot of the training plans that you see, they come from people who have very high cardio bases. A lot of them were marathon runners, or they come from the OCR world of Spartan or Savage Race. And so they have a very well-developed endurance or aerobic-based energy system. Me, I don't. I kind of have one, but not to that extent. So a lot of the training plans that you see out there may be specific to that. So what I had to do, and what I felt would be a better approach to developing a strategy, is to spend the first several weeks of training kind of identifying my weakness, taking stock in the areas that I needed the most improvement, and build a strategy or a training plan that was specific to that and customize it to that. That way, I'm not taking a cookie cutter approach to development, a cookie cutter approach to training. I'm actually, it's more specialized and focused just on my body type. Now, with that being said, I'm not, when I find, because there's plenty of great videos and plenty of great YouTubers that do Hyrox. I follow JFit, and there's another guy. I'll post this link in the bio. But I follow plenty of people, and I do check up on their workouts. specifically Jay Fit. He is a great guy to follow in regards to Hyrox, a little bit more advanced, but even he comes from a heavy running background. But I do take some of his workouts, some of his training models, some of his training approaches, and incorporate it into mine. So it's not that I completely ignore what everybody else is doing. It's just that I understand that the biggest bang for my buck is going to come from me actually customizing my strategy and my training plan specific to the needs and the demands of my body. Well, that's it for my week 4 recap. I appreciate you guys for showing up and watching this video. If you made it to this point, then hopefully you realize that, hey, what this guy is talking about is pretty cool. If you do like my information, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, so you can be notified. And if there's a bell, hit the bell button so you can be notified when I post new videos. Before we flip to my workout grind for week 4, again, I see you guys on week 5, and peace.